Hey, glad you're here with me today. People on my channel have been asking for an IT episode forever, and many viewers want to finally understand what everything looks like behind the screen, how realistic it is to enter tech, what's happening there, and what a developer's daily life looks like. So let's start from the very beginning. Tell your story. How did you even get into programming? Was it a conscious decision, or did it all happen by accident?
It all started pretty simply. I spent a lot of time on the computer as a kid and always wondered how websites, programs, and games were built. In university, I wrote my first little application. It worked terribly, but the moment it launched, I felt something click. Later I got an internship, solved real tasks, shipped features, and the more I coded, the more I realized this wasn't just a hobby, it was my path.
People often imagine programmers as geniuses who instantly write perfect code. But reality is different. What skills do you think are truly important in this profession? What does someone need to develop if they want to become a strong engineer, not just someone who writes something?
The most important skill is problem solving. Programming is about understanding why things work or don't work. Then, logic, attention to detail, and adaptability. And communication is huge in this field. You work with designers, managers, QA, analysts. If you can't explain what you're doing, everything becomes harder.
Developers are everywhere now, but truly strong engineers, the ones companies fight for, are rare. What do you think separates someone who just writes code from someone who becomes a key high-level engineer on the team?
A strong engineer thinks deeper. They don't just solve a task. They understand why it exists, choose the best solution, think about scalability and long-term maintainability. They write clean, understandable code. They help teammates, offer improvements, and aren't afraid to admit when they don't know something. And they care about the product, not just their ticket list.
Tell me what you personally love about this job. What keeps you excited? What makes you open your laptop with interest instead of out of habit?
What I love the most is the feeling of creation. You write code and watch something new come to life. When people use something you built, it's amazing. I also love the freedom, remote work, flexible schedule, the ability to choose projects. And solving a tough bug after days of struggle feels incredible.
Let's be honest, every profession has a dark side. What are the real downsides of being a developer? What might surprise or disappoint someone entering the industry?
There are definitely downsides. Mental fatigue is real. Your brain can be exhausted after a day of thinking. You must learn constantly. Technologies change fast. Deadlines happen, production issues happen, late evenings happen. And the sitting lifestyle can be tough. Without physical activity, you feel it quickly.
When you work as a developer, what problems or challenges do you encounter most often? What creates stress? Technical issues, communication with managers, deadlines, team dynamics.
The most common issues are unclear requirements. Things like, make it convenient, without explaining what convenient means. Then there are bugs that only appear for users, not on your machine. Team misunderstandings happen too. People see priorities differently. Sometimes the hardest part isn't coding but figuring out the real task.
Every developer faces that moment when nothing works and you can't figure out why. How do you keep your motivation when everything seems to fall apart?
When something doesn't work, I take a break. A short walk often helps. I break problems into tiny pieces and solve them step by step. And experience teaches you not to panic. Difficulties are part of the job, not a sign that you're bad at it. There's some truth to the stereotype.
There's a stereotype that developers are introverts who hate communication and sit quietly in a corner. How true is that?
Many developers are introverts. But modern development requires a lot of communication. Meetings, planning, code reviews. You can't hide in a corner. Teamwork and communication are essential skills.
How important is communication in your work? People see ads saying, get into IT in 6 months. But how does it look in real life? How much time does it actually take to reach the level where someone can confidently apply for a job?
If someone studies consistently, builds projects, and practices well, 6 to 12 months is enough to reach junior level. If learning part-time, usually 1 to 1.5 years. But entering the field is only the beginning. Growing from junior to mid to senior takes years of practice.
Many people think, I'm not a math person, or I'm a humanities person, this isn't for me. What would you say to someone who doubts themselves before even trying?
I'd say, try. There are so many directions in IT, and most don't require advanced math. Web, mobile, automation, QA, game development. These are very different worlds. Often people give up because they started with something too difficult. You need to experiment.
There are tons of myths around this profession. What myths do you hear most often, and which of them are total nonsense?
The most common myths are: developers must be math geniuses. The job is boring and repetitive. Everything is easy and done in a couple of clicks. Developers instantly earn huge salaries. In reality, the job is creative, analytical, collaborative, and the path to big salaries takes time.
Let's imagine someone decided to become a developer. They opened a course and started learning. What advice would you give them right at the start? What should they avoid? What should they focus on?
My advice: don't try to learn everything at once. Pick one stack and stick to it. Build real projects. Upload code to GitHub and ask for feedback. And never fear mistakes. Mistakes are essential in this field.
How can someone get into IT without a degree? There are so many self-taught developers now. What are the most effective steps?
A degree isn't required. What matters is skill and ability to solve real problems. Learn the basics, build projects, create a portfolio, apply for internships and junior roles. Hackathons, open source, and community help a lot. If you show you can do the work, you'll get hired.
Before the most anticipated question, tell me, what makes a developer successful? Why do some people grow fast while others get stuck for years?
A successful developer is curious, responsible, and cares about the product. They think not just about code but about the impact. They learn constantly and reflect on how to improve. They're team players and take ownership. Growth comes from mindset.
And now the question my subscribers always wait for the most: how much does a software engineer actually earn?
The salary range is huge. Beginners, $2,000 to $4,000 per month. Mid-level engineers, $5,000 to $8,000. Seniors, $8,000 to $12,000 plus. In FAANG level companies, with bonuses and stock options, total compensation can be much higher. But big money comes after years of growth, not instantly.
Thanks so much for this conversation. It was really honest and insightful. I'm sure many viewers learned a lot about what the developer's life actually looks like. Guys, if you enjoyed the interview, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes. Lots of great stories and real talks about careers and earnings are coming soon. See you in the next video.